Assalamu alaikum, and welcome everyone to our first episode of Tea with She. I am here with the organization Sisterhood Empowerment Campaign, also known as the She Campaign, and we're going to first introduce everyone who's here with us today. Fatima, would you like to start off?
Hi everyone, my name is Fatima and I'm the chairwoman and founder of the Sisterhood Empowerment Campaign, better known as the She Campaign. So I'll just say a little bit about myself to start. The purpose of starting this organization is to bring women together as a community, a space where it is safe and supportive, where we can educate and uplift one another. The tea that I'm drinking today, as the podcast is called Tea with She, is a cup of Somali tea, which we call share. Very typical of me. This is all I drink. But would you like to bounce on to Marini?
Yep, Marini, go ahead.
Oh, hey, assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Marini. I am the copywriter and project manager of the She Campaign. That's what I do. I help to edit some content that a lot of this committee writes. And a bit about myself is that I'm really passionate about women's health in general, but more predominantly youth, because I work in a school and I've always worked in schools and with youth and with different organizations. So that's the reason why I decided to join. Even though we cover women of all ages, I guess that's probably my main interest, is that around that area. And I'm not drinking tea, I'm drinking water because caffeine gives me headaches. So
okay.
now maybe, finished.
Yeah. Izzy, what about you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. I'm Izzy. I'm mainly the photographer and the videographer of the She Campaign. And a little bit about myself is I'm very loyal. I guess the reason why I joined this community is because actually the reason why I joined you guys is because of Marini, and also because I've been busy with work, uni, accomplish chasing all these dreams, but I tend to forget to volunteer, to actually take part of someone else's lives and to actually make an impact on people's lives. That's what I've been missing, and that's the reason why I've joined you guys. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, that makes sense. Yeah. That's a really good one. I've also joined for a similar reason, but I realized that I didn't really introduce myself. So my name is Nasyeetha, and I am the secretary and art director. And basically what I do is I organize and sort of support in, the smooth functioning of the organization. And I also do a bit of a lot of the graphic design throughout the organization. But my reason for joining is similar to Izzy's, that I felt like I wanted to put some time aside to help the community and just sort of do what I can, on my part to make an impact, whether if it's like a small change or not. And what I'm drinking today is, I did have a coffee before, but now I'm just finishing up with water. So that's me. And I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to be doing a really quick episode on just trying to do a bit of an introduction to why we're doing this. So Fatima, my first question for you is, what is Tea with She, and what do we hope to achieve with it?
Tea with She is the name of our podcast that we've been intending to create for far too long now. I think the silver lining in the COVID virus was giving us the opportunity to actually get started on doing the podcast. we were having to transition from doing physical workshops and support groups to kind of facilitating things online, and it took us a while to kind of figure out what can we do to continue supporting women and continue educating people on different matters like emotional intelligence that we've done in the past, domestic violence, and so on. So we felt that doing a podcast would be the best option, as people can just listen to it any time in their day. You know, the general structure of it, we'll figure out as we go. It is a learning experience, but the main thing we hope to achieve from this is to, you know, really reach out to people who are struggling during this, well, especially during this lockdown that we're in now here in Melbourne. A lot of people are struggling with their mental well-being. You know, a lot of people are gaining weight, eating unhealthy, just generally feeling down. And we really want to uplift each other and continue educating people on matters that concern women's health, especially women's mental well-being. And we felt as an organization, this is the best way we could facilitate doing these kind of programs.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, just transitioning from what we used to do, having all our events and, you know, having the functions and everything, transitioning that to online. Yeah, it's definitely probably the best solution we have at the moment. And we've been with the organization for, I think, about 2 years, 3 years. Actually, this would be our 3rd year, if I'm not wrong.
Third year.
Yeah, 3rd year. And like from there, ever since the pandemic started, it was really difficult to continue what we would usually do, which is, you know, putting together events. And then we also had a major event coming up, but then it just couldn't happen. But yeah, that transition online, and we just wanted be able to do something that can reach anyone basically. And I think doing it online is probably the best way, because I think nowadays, because of the pandemic, everything is going online. You see a lot of things on social media, on the news, everywhere. And I guess we also need to be able to adapt to that, and if we want to continue, you know, doing what we do, inshallah.
I just want to add on to what you just said, Nasyeetha.
Yeah.
It's also we're stepping out of our comfort zone as an organization. We're very used to holding events in person, having a speaker, having, you know, audience, people asking questions. So this is out of our comfort zone. It's definitely a new experience for us, and it is a learning experience. Yeah. So we want people to grow with us as an organization, the people who have been supporting us and following us from the beginning, like 3 years ago. We want to, you know, continue facilitating programs for them, instead of just because we're in a lockdown and not being able to facilitate programs, just kind of disappearing. So bear with us. It might be a bit, you know, bit dodgy, but we'll get there eventually.
We're not perfect. And there's always room to grow. So, you know, yeah, like you said, we learn as we do this.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. Okay, my next question is for Marini. So who is this podcast for, and what topics are we aiming to cover?
Well, sort of stemming from what both you guys were saying, we've always aimed at local women in our community, no matter where we do our events. We've done our events on the north side and the east side, and usually women from all over the place come and join us. So now our podcasts are aimed for, you know, all women of girls as well, inshallah, of all ages, depending on the topic, because it is online. And, you know, stemming from our workshops. So we hope to cover topics focusing on women's health and well-being, as Fatima was saying, similar to our workshops, for those who aren't familiar.
Yeah.
And we aim to bring in guest speakers who specialize in specific topics, and hopefully it'll be really beneficial.
Yeah. So when you mean by specific topics, do you mean like what kind of professionals? Who are we looking to reach out to?
So we're looking to reach out to usually professionals on topics of mental health. Specifically mental health, I think now in the pandemic is quite important, because we've got, you know, we're all in the same position, and not everybody has access to resources like others. Going to see specialists is quite pricey. Maybe we can hopefully bring in people who, you know, hoping to get in healthcare professionals who can maybe assist in, if anyone has questions, maybe dietitians, things like that, because weight could be a thing that we're all struggling with, especially in this pandemic. We can't go out to exercise.
Oh yeah, definitely fitness as well, because we all need to move our bodies around.
Yes, and so I think that's essentially what we're doing, is bringing what we had from the workshops, the essence of it, putting it into a podcast, and inshallah, it will be really good.
Inshallah. And just coming off of that, I think one of our main reasons for this podcast is to as a way to bring awareness of any kind, or whether if it's like a particular topic, or just bring something so that it could benefit anyone who's listening, in terms of like education wise, because that's also our mission. So we want to inshallah empower women through education, and we feel like this podcast would cover that. So even I feel like just communicating or talking with someone and just learning new things along the way is definitely would help. Just even someone giving you a one-liner advice or something, I think that's definitely it could help someone who's feeling really down. And I think that's probably like the best thing that we could do at the moment right now.
We're also open to suggestions, of course. If anyone has anything that they're wanting us to cover, we can try and reach out to people who may be professionals in that area, if we can't answer the questions, of course.
Great. Okay, Izzy. So the last question I just wanted to ask is just how often do we plan on making these podcasts, and where is it made available?
So basically it's going to be on a monthly basis, and all be available on our website, www.theshecampaign.org, or on Facebook, Instagram, audio on SoundCloud and Spotify.
Great. Okay, well, that's what we wanted to cover for today's episode. Just a really quick introduction on who we are as an organization, what we do, and I just really want to thank everyone for listening in to our first episode. Does anybody else want to add anything in or say something before we finish up?
Thank you for listening in, and watch the space. Hopefully we'll have some really good and helpful content coming out soon. Like Izzy said, we do want to do it on a monthly basis, and we do have a potential speaker around the corner, so get excited. And it's during circumstances like this, it's really important to be a support system. So just adding onto everything we've just mentioned, the things that you learn from the podcast is you can use it in everyday life. So we're really hopeful that this will be of use to people, and people will definitely benefit from this.
Inshallah. Anybody else want to say anything?
No? Thank you for listening.
Stay safe. Okay, like Fatima said, we're excited for what's to come, and we've got a lot of ideas and plans for the future. And if you want to know more about what we do, I will leave links and descriptions and everything wherever I will be posting this. And once again, yes.
Could you just quickly tell people what our Instagram and our Facebook is?
Oh yeah, sure. What Izzy mentioned, our website is www.theshecampaign.org. You can find us on Instagram, which is our username is _theshecampaign, because apparently the She Campaign was taken. I don't know why. That's another issue. And our Facebook is simply facebook.com/theshecampaign. Simple, straightforward. But yes, thank you, ladies, for joining in today. And inshallah, I will see everyone in the next episode. So everyone take care. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Bye. Wa alaikum salam.